Hi, I'm Fairooz Habeeb. I'm the president for FITIS Software Chapter and the project chairman for Digital Excellence Conclave and Award. This FITIS Digital Transformation Awards and Conclave, which intend to recognize and uphold the business enterprises whom are in the process of successfully digitally transforming themselves and become an exponential organization to drive that exponential growth in their respective organization. By keeping that in mind, we came up with the theme of migration of enterprises from Industry 3.0 to 4.0. The FITIS has taken the responsibility to drive this concept of digitally transformed Sri Lanka by developing this framework called the FITIS Digital Excellence Framework, or we call it the Maturity Assessment Framework, to evaluate how you are currently performing across each of these competencies, which are the major segments that we are talking about: digitized customer experience, product and services, organization and operation. As you can see, each segment has subcategories. In today's session, I'm going to discuss about customer experience, that to focus on the omnichannel experience. Here we are going to look at how the competencies and skill sets which determine where your customer experiences fall across this maturity stage of this FITIS Digital Assessment Framework, Digital Maturity Assessment Framework. Then we review the information provided by you through that questionnaire, and then we will evaluate and we'll develop a plan for you to making the progress towards your customer experience goal for your respective organizations. Let's look at this customer experience before we move on to that. What customer experience is, how your customer perception, you build how you treat your customers, and these perceptions affect their behaviors and how and you build the memories and feelings around to drive that loyalty with your customer. However, the organizations don't become a customer-centric overnight. Any company, they can improve the portion of their customer experience, but only those go beyond the superficial changes will be able to create a lasting differentiation and increase the loyalty with the customer. Now, let us look at this customer experience point of view, or what we expect during this by participating this award. If you look at from as a leader, you see the potential value in which customer experience they investigate and how they can help their organizations, and they can build that journey with isolated pockets of customer experience activities across your organization. Here in this digital transformation or the excellence framework, that we have set the expectation for each categories. And those categories with the expectations are given here. On this omnichannel experience, what we expect was to creating anytime, anywhere digital interaction between the customer and the organization, and how the organizations are implementing a system where they can build up processes which embrace and enhance the holistic customer experience to their customer. During this, to look at this customer experience perspective, how we expect the organization, where how they build that customer experience for the digital future state. The FITIS Digital Excellence Strategy towards this customer experience to maximize customer satisfaction. And how are you going to gain that lifetime revenue from your customers? And then how you build the digital interaction between customer and your organization, and the creating the culture with the strategy that the right technology to embrace the customer-centric view for your business, and how you improve your customer digital experience for your customers. Every employee should be dedicated to their set of activities, and they should be able to deliver the vision set by the organization. So how do you define that? And how do you build that systematically, follow up with the customer, and fix the problem that uncovered using the information which is coming through the various channels? And how you make that ongoing improvement to operational processes based on customer experience insight? And how are you going to make that strategic decision based on the information which is coming across that various platform? So here you are talking about building a digital platform or the business model to cater those requirements, where the digital customer experience platform for all businesses that should convert your businesses into the digital platform or digital business model in order to practice the digital economy concept that we are talking about here. This would create the experience lifecycle focusing on sales, marketing, customer service, retention of loyalties, and then the end of the day, you will have that engagement functions which is setting up across your digital platform. This way, you can bring in that experience, insight, and also you can have that operational capabilities within your systems itself. And you should be able to uncover opportunities and use that transformative customer experience with your customers to bring in that best class operational efficiencies. One other thing that you should be able to use or apply the human-centric design approach to improve your customer experience within your engagement platform. This will ensure that the customer experiences are delivered consistently and when they are rolled out across your organization. Next, what we expect from this omnichannel experience as a evaluation criteria, we look at how the organizations are able to design and implement 24/7 seamless consumer engagement points or the processes which touches across multiple touch points or the consumer touch points, which can combine the data or the customer experience data across various platforms like social media, support tickets, and sales tickets, and then some of the customer requests and so on. So by doing this, you can bring in that operational efficiency to generate the actionable insight from that conversations that the customers are having with you all. You could capture appropriate signal from targeted customers at the appropriate time. You should be able to do the analyzing of your customer experience data, and you can prioritize the actions, what sort of action to be taken based on that customer experience data you are capturing. And this also you should be able to distribute among the stakeholders, and that can make their life easier to take the appropriate action. One another area that we are looking at is customer value-centric thinking. Now, when it comes to customer value-centric thinking, which is generally what we see, is not pioneered by the large established organization, which is generally practiced by the challengers or the tech startup. If you look at Alibaba, by 2021, they had become one of the world's largest company in terms of market capitalization, with almost $10 billion business in wide range of sectors they have got into, like retailing, e-commerce, online, cloud services, logistics, payments, and more. So they've spread across various segments. How they were able to do it, where they were able to bring in that managing product information content flow to that different engagement platform. So by bringing that, they were able to bring that organization's ability to stand ahead of their competitors they were able to put that product, promote their product before even their competitors put forward. And they should be able to respond and also quickly adapt to those contents which is being developed by the strategy team. So this way they were able to do much more business, growth during the last couple of years. If you look at this strategy as a strategic point of view, the omni-channel strategy, where during this assessment process, what we are going to look at how the organizations are systematically uses insight and identify and improve the customer experience and investigate in with the information collected through the customer experience platform, and how the entire workforce is using this customer experience data and bringing the customer experience to their platform. They also should be able to integrate with their HR processes to reinforce that good customer experience behavior among all employees across the organization. This customer experience skills should be rooted into their organizations, and also they should be able to rapidly adopt and constantly learn and propagate insight from the need which is created by the industry or the customers, and expectations of all relevant stakeholders, and how they are going to act on it. Here we are also looking at how the organization's ability to use digital technologies, especially on outcome-based model, okay, and how the organizations has the ability to measure the feedback, and how they are going to perform that rewards and recognitions to the employees of that organization, how they are setting up the goals, and how they are monitoring those progress of those ROI, and how they are demonstrating the value in terms of churn reduction, how they are improving their accounts, and then growth, as well as how they do that additional purchasing within that customer base that they have, and how they get the renewals going on. So those are the aspects which is going to be assessed during this process. And not only that, we are also looking at how the customers satisfied during the customer journey of their along the customer journey while they're interacting with the organization, which is also going to take detailed analysis of customer feedback, which matches the business objectives and keep the vision, and how you are executing those visions, and how you manage the up-to-date documentation, where you build that customer persona, that everyone in that organization should have access to those customer persona. Those are the areas which looked at from organization ability. And when it comes to operational strategy and the leadership, we are going to look at how enterprise-wide formal strategy is driven from the top, and how the leader to personally demonstrate the transformation behaviors, and some of the disruptive possibilities and the non-linear ideation process, like transformation technology, transformation processes, and core systems, and design thinking. Those are the areas that we are going to test it during this assessment process. Now let's look at the award category. It's this, I believe, that you have this. We have this 4 levels of categories that we have defined. What are we looking at from the level 4 levels? That the first level is merit level, where the organization's ability to digital technologies, use the digital technologies, and how they can use use this outcome-based model or the digital ecosystem. When an enterprise is actively automating internal processes such as selling, marketing, and support processes, and using CRM and other base platforms, this is more of a automation. So we call it as a digitalization than the digital transformation. But it provides the foundation necessary for the future transformation. This automating process will enable the customer profiling and track performance and successes. And how having enterprise-wide based formal strategy and drive from the top, where we are going to see how signs or the plans in place for the leaders to personally demonstrate the new transformational behavior. There should be structure in place for the leaders to translate the business goals into transformational strategies, and how they are going to do that seamless consumer engagement process, which utilizes multiple touch points and so on. How they are going to combine the user experience data like social media, support tickets, and like support customer requests, and how all sort of operational data is to generate the actionable insight, and how they are going to capture the appropriate signal from targeted customers, and how they're going to time it, how they're going to analyze the experience data and distribute inside the stakeholders, and how they can take fast decisions and customer insight and the strategy to execute those actions, and how systematically follow up with the customer to fix the problems and all that. These are the areas which is going to be discussed or assessed during having enterprise-wide based formal strategy. And when it comes to technology-based product, technology-enabled product adjacency, this is about that how the e-business model should have the business transformation capabilities, and how they're using the technology-enabled product adjacency, or having this 10x operational efficiencies by using those technologies. But you don't have a disruptive product. That is one of the levels that that while having all those technologies, still you don't have a digitally disruptive products in place, right? What you really have here, you really should have, we are actively automating internal processes. The leaders should demonstrate the new transformation behaviors and strategy capabilities and so on. When it comes to drones level, where we are looking at the organization should have the individual functions or the businesses that start using the disruptive technologies, where they should be able to build a new business model, such as selling directly to the consumers, or using adoption of mobile app, websites, and web services, and communities, surveys. But these organizations are not setting up adequate tracking of their customer journey. They find it almost impossible to measure the ROI. So this is the kind of a point where the efforts are made in silo. There are no overall company strategy to drive this transformation. If you look at that, all these three transformational possibilities we are talking about, where the transformational technologies, transformational processes, and transformational ecosystem, and you got to see how it creates the the most digital possibilities or disruptive possibilities, and then how we are going to use that non-linear ideation process, such as design thinking and creating new big ideas. Those should be possible for you to practice it in your organization. But also looking at is what sort of digitization process that you are, or the part of how do you experimenting the transformational business models and the processes, and how you scale to the next stage, where how are you using non-linear process ideas and processes, and doing digital processes and so on. Next, what we are looking at is the silver level, where organizations' leadership has recognized the disruptive power of the digital technologies and they define the linear progression with unique customer experience for digital future state. The organization has actually started setting up the adequate tracking for their decision points with their prospective customers' journeys, and also they can also track like email clicks and page browsed and their purchase histories and even second and third layers of data with the third parties like email clicks and the partnership with the customer progression through the journey. However, this is not the enterprises are not completely transformed into a digital backbone or the new business model that they has to show that agility and innovative culture to become sustainable in that organization to do that. Whereas they also, while they're making the real effort in terms of bringing that information available online, they bring in that customer value centric like retailing, e-commerce and online clouds and payments and contents and all that are coming up. But still the operationally, the reality of, the reality of that organization is it's a mix of that all the new business models and the processes and the products, they are mixed up in that. And also, they even though they have a corporate-wide strategy, but still you're not winning perpetually. You are digitally optimized for the moment, but you are kind of one technology or one product or one processes that change the. But still, you are away from disrupted by your incumbents. So this level we are trying to put them into the silver category. Next, the final stage is the gold level we are looking at, where the organization has the technical blueprint or the schematic visualization of fully synchronized, and it makes the point where the enterprise-wide digital platform or new business model has fully taken into the roots of the organization. However, still, they just build a business model and they are away from disrupted by any other organization. But still, you will see certain gaps in terms of agile, innovative culture, which is going to be. It is not going to be integral part of their enterprises, but they have fully explored creating an open ecosystem to generate large number of innovative use cases and which is internally as well as externally. For example, they can open up their data through access to the data through the APIs to selected developers to build some business models around that, and you can deliver industry-leading customer results, and you can have the innovative digital products. And also you could have the best-in-class operational efficiencies. Now, when it comes to this new customer-centric operational capabilities, what we look at here, where you have the collaborative and purpose-driven mindset in the organization's vision, and also you have the capacity and capability in terms of planning and executing disciplines to leverage the new technologies to the best effort. And you are scaling the dynamic digital first go-to-market model. And you have the managing product information content flows to a different engagement platforms, and you are setting up that customer experience for the future digital future stage. If you're so this is what we are looking at from the gold level. Now, let me also highlight that what sort of engagement will be done once you apply for that competition. Now, as I mentioned, we have defined those categories, and that maturity assessment framework is built based on certain expectation around that. Each category has its own set of questionnaire to gather the information from the respective organization to measure the maturity. We are following industry-leading standards, frameworks, and models to come up with this maturity assessment framework. It's not possible or impossible for us to do that assessment within a half an hour presentation. It is not possible, not fair to give you a maturity assessment, your maturity status, by doing that half an hour assessment. So we have put a lot of energy, time, and knowledge and resources into this process to come up with the measurement maturity assessment questionnaire, where it can help you build that question, and once you respond to that, you will be as FITIS that we will have the insight about where is your maturity level right now based on your response, and then accordingly you will be assessed for the particular levels of the maturity, and then the awards will be given. And you will also receive a report of your maturity stage, and you can simply define your growth path, that where you should be moving towards your organization. Looking forward to seeing you. I wish you all the best to participate in this competition, and looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.